Yeah, alright. Alright, we're here with High Marshal Arguel. 3-mana 3-1. When it dies, you get Arguel's Bloodfast, and you can immediately flip it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, a delayed Golos, sort of. This has to die, it's not when it enters. But you get a land out of it. And then if you have both the back and front, which means this dies again, you start to make 4/3s instead of more of this enchantment. It's a card advantage engine. It's technically delayed death trigger ramp. It sacks itself to its the other side of Arguel's Bloodfast, which is a Temple of Alcatraz. I don't know why it's not a 1/3 and it's a 3/1, right? This sacks for life of toughness. So I think it would have been more reasonable to me, but I don't know. I just thought it was good enough as is, so. There's a bunch of ways to get this back that does not feel ridiculous, right? It's not like you're only getting the angels beyond like 7 mana. If you run a bunch of reanimate spells, there's a ton of them that reanimate things that are 3 and down. I'm not running all of them. I think there's like 3 or 4 I'm not running, but there's, Unearth is a big one. Where is it? Yep, there it is. Other stuff that reanimates just in white for 3 down. There's stuff that when it is going to die, it just comes right back. You get a death trigger. You hopefully don't misclick your command zone thing and put it to the command zone before, it would go back into play. And other than that main thing, it's just big black-white control-y nonsense that is significantly different from Ketramos, and probably not as great as Ketramos, but Ketramos kind of in a league of his own, right? I mean, they actually look very different because there's a lot of exile in that, and there's not really that much here. Yeah, no, that's about it. So let's see what happens. If I need mana rocks, then we're gonna be sad. So, oh. Yeah, I guess it was specifically made for this commander. Well, looks like we're burning another rare wild card and spending another 22 minutes figuring out what to take out. Oh boy. So, hey, look at that. Turn 1 scam. What are we up against though? Maybe it doesn't matter. We're up against a bird demon with text that I'm not in the mood to read. Shield counter, look at the top card of your library. You may cast spells at the top of your library. Alright. Alright. We're in. We're going. We're zooming. Oh yeah, Liliana also just picks it out of your graveyard too, huh? I might stockpile my currencies for the Final Fantasy set at this point. So like right around the corner, so. Falco is just a bad TMEO? Well, you know what? Don't let my opponent know that. They can play what they want. This is a free country, unless it isn't. I don't know where my opponent is from. What does that do? Alright. What does this do? Okay. Well, this is why I don't like all the reanimate spells when your commander's not doing anything yet. Okay. Whenever one more counters upon a creature you control, twice as many. Alright, so my opponent is all in on making this dummy wide. Trying to cake up the Burge. Well, it's not a land, but you know what? It's a really good card. Do I play it? I do. It sets up a Wrath of God, if I don't draw a land. Oh, chat, we need Davriel in here. I forgot. We mended our relationship. I have to add Davriel. Oh, they have a tap land. That's tragic. Actual tragedy. I would almost prefer them to actually play their commander instead of what is this. Alright, so that is going to be a 4/4. Well, that's not a land. Treasure draw. Okay, well, if we get... Oh, wait a minute. This makes 1/1 flyers. Oh, wait. So we can do a couple things. I think the most reliable thing to do is Shieldred's Edict, so that's what we're going to do. I know I can play my commander and block, but that also doesn't... That also, yeah. Where is it? There you are. Alright, so... I'm going to do... Yeah, we're going to do this in upkeep. Sacrifice a non-token creature. Alright. Yeah, swords. No, I don't really care about the 1/1s. I don't care about the 1/1s. I just don't want them to hit my Liliana. That's the main thing. I do not care about these 1/1s. Come on. Come on. It's been so long. Please. Please. I promise I'll go to church on Sunday. I promise. Please. They're thinking. Okay, that doesn't do it. That does give them a lot of mana, but not now. Actually, this is all just abysmal because we have a sweeper. Yeah, this is worst case scenario for the opponent. Best case scenario for us. Let's not mess this up. Actually, I'm not going to draw additional cards at this point. Doing that. Sending this. Alright, zombies. Let's go. We're doing it. It's happening. The zombies are here. And they are here to stay. Does this fly? Shoot. It does. They didn't play it, but they played another thing. Alright, so I am susceptible to very quick and sudden demise here. Do I have to draw? I think it doesn't change the clock to draw a single time. Maybe it does. Alright, that kind of offsets all of the things I was complaining about. Let's do Vampire. I think I should play both. Although, maybe I should just let this exist and do that, actually. Because I have this. Yeah, we're gonna not do anything here. It does not take very long for these zombies to win the game. I can probably start swinging next turn as well. One or more counters will become a creature. Twice as many. Alright, so... with the counters, opponent, you need to calm down with the 1/1 counters, please. Wait, what does this do? Bruh. It's all 1/1 counters. So we take 7, 8, 10? Is it 10? I think it's 10. Alright, I'm not sure what there is to contemplate. I'm pretty sure you just put it on Shalai. Alright, that's a little unbelievable to me, but that's what my opponent did. We can almost flip Arguel's on its own. Going as low as we are. I don't believe... They didn't swing! Alright, so we have time. They didn't swing, chat. I don't know why. Maybe setting up a one-shot. We draw poop. So... Do I expect them to block? Probably. And I can just cast my... Not dead after all. They didn't even hesitate. Alright, they did not even hesitate. They didn't want to kill children at all. So, can I die at 15? Is there anything I can do about it? No, there really is not. There is fundamentally nothing I can do. Okay. Sigarda for hexproof combo. Okay, that doesn't matter this turn. They're dead to the zombies. And I don't believe they can make Shalai lethal, so I think we win. Alright, I'm not sure... 9... Would we have died if they did the right thing with the counters last turn? We'd be at 5. No, we'd be at 10? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, wait, I have to think about it. Yeah, we would have died. If they put counters last turn here and swung, this turn we would have died to it from that attack just now. And they would not have died from having a tapped creature to not block. So yeah, I think they missed lethal. We didn't draw an out or anything. This is the problem with all the reanimate spells. I think I just have too many, right? And like they don't do anything until stuff starts happening. And if I stockpile sack outlets on top of these, my deck is full of nonsense that, you know, it doesn't look like this. So, all right, we got our Liliana win. Okay. I don't think this is doing anything. That's interesting. Yeah, we need to take some of these out. It's getting a little crazy. Yeah, it was the same person. Same building, too, actually. Well, our hand sure looks great if we had a commander. There's, I mean, you could just play, whatchamacallit? Like Avacyn, just make it all indestructible. Phyrexian Tower is in here. What the heck is this? Mobilize X, number of creature cards in your graveyard. Alright, so do we expect them to block? Probably. Is there a reason not to swing? I feel like swinging is stupid. Yeah, no, what am I talking about? So we play this, and we play this thing? No, we should wait on that. Okay. Fear of missing out. Sure. Gets rid of Bitter Blossom. Wow. Alright, they just swung immediately. We're gonna do stiff. I don't think there's a reason to sack this now. Oh, yes there is. Well, no, there isn't, actually. We can... What are we looking for here? I could get Annex. I could get the One Ring. Liliana's pretty interesting. Probably just a removal spell. Just so nonsense can't happen. And I can blow up this as well. Life gain would have been interesting, like Shieldred. Can double our life total. That seems adorable. Alright, I have to kill that. No, it's random. It's either random or your MMR if you win too much. There's other random things that have to do with it. Y'all, I'll get pitted against complete and utter nonsense out of nowhere sometimes. Like 3 times in a row. Oh boy, a hand full of mana dorks. Where have we seen that before? It is all cats. Wait, no, that's not true. It's like cat tribal, and the best card to play is the not cat. Yeah, figures. That's funny. Okay. Well, let's take the thing that grows stuff, shall we? Boy, oh boy. We want a black or white? Oh, you definitely want a... Oh, excuse me, I can do both. I'm an idiot. I am dumb. So, what do I want to see played here? I will keep my commander in the graveyard. I also won't cast Damnation next turn, so... Davriel. Davriel feels... Actually, no, it doesn't feel as good as this. Yeah, this feels way better. Let me see this. Well, you can't say that. You can't say those words in YouTube chat. That's the great AI bot will sniff in deep. This does work out, right? Okay, maybe this doesn't work out. Maybe this doesn't work out. Alright, it almost worked out. Well, there's nothing to do now. I can play the One Ring, actually. Yeah, we're gonna play the One Ring. Did I play a land? I don't even know. Okay, well, rip. Alright, so this is just to put more creatures in play. They don't have a land in hand. I think it's worth activating the ring. Maybe it isn't, but it's what I chose to do, so. Well, alright, Davriel. It is time for more deals. We've been on good terms so far. Come on. Yeah, I could have done this first, by the way. I could have discounted something. Didn't really get anything there. Okay, I actually got stone cold nothing. That's great. Let's, draw. No, we don't have to draw. We don't have to draw. Yeah, I baited out about $45 to $60 worth of cards. Crazy. I don't think I'm going to draw off the One Ring. I don't think I have to right now. I'd rather not die. And we are going to just... No, we can keep Davriel around maybe a bit longer. We can find Shieldred and cast it. Okay, yeah, that's what we're going to do then. So the ring doesn't kill us. Not sure I could have done this before I activated Davriel. Am I dumb? Might be dumb. Chat, might be stupid. I might be stupid, chat. That's alright. It is literally just cats with 1/1 counters. It's kind of funny. So, drawing is better than sacking, because I gain more life that way. I haven't actually sacked my commander to this land yet. Yeah, we're not gonna lose Shieldred for no reason. I will keep this in the... No, we'll put it to the command zone. It's the first time it died, so... Alright, come on, deal. I don't even really need a crazy deal, but anything is decent. This is good. The discount is also pretty good. I have the one ring, so... I don't care about the size of my opponent's creatures, obviously. And then we can do this. We can recast our commander. I might as well play that. Plus it. Wait, what does this do? Protection from dogs. I love it. That. Sack a creature. Doot, doot. We did it, chat. We made bats. We made bats. You know what? Let's double our life total, because that's great. Wait. Oh, I target my opponent, they go to 11. I gotcha. Didn't know how that worked at first. I didn't actually even know it did that part of the card. I thought it just doubled my life total. We're at 50. Oh, this is paradise. Yay, we did it. We did it. How dare you say hello to me? Who do you think you are? Who do they think they are? Alright, so please, no mana dork. Actually, it's not as bad here. It's not as bad. It'll probably be breeding pool. I don't think it'd be stomping around. Oh, hedge maze. Huge. I'm gonna surveil in response, and you're gonna like it. Bloop. Yeah. Land is fine, I think. Second black source as well. Okay, so now we play this on Kotis Fang Spaghetti. I could have held this for later and maybe caught my opponent off guard, but then that's a mana, like, it can't do it next turn, and if they play a ramp spell this turn, then that, yeah, okay, never mind, there's no doing it a different turn. Making a deck with non-delve Tevol? I can't say I know it by name, but if it's a commander, I don't see why I wouldn't try. Alright, so it looks like, yeah, we had to play this last turn, because this would be 2 into 4, which Kotis wants to do literally every game ever. So, stop that. Please kill my commander, and don't... wait, is that okay? It doesn't have a death trigger anymore. Maybe I wanted to play Takasha's Welcome last turn. Alright, so I have to kill this thing, which is, like, really sad, but such is life. From the next commander set? Well, I mean, I can't say I've looked at it. But, we'll see. I don't see why I wouldn't think about it. Alright, well, my opponent did the obvious thing, which, is not great for us. You know what we could have done? Oh, we could have killed it in their upkeep. Oh, man. Where am I? Where am I, chat? Where am I? Where am I? Alright, so there are cards that are good here. I think at this point it's fine to actually draw. I mean, I don't... Please? Come on! No! This is not my fault. Well, that does do it. Now we have to dodge Trample, Flying, Unblockable. They only had 3 cards. Now there's 4. It's like just those things, too. Oh, of course. Oh, come on. Alright, so now we're just banking on them not stealing anything good, but there's not much to really steal in my deck, to be honest with you. Okay, they run the Winmore card. I would never recommend. I can tutor up the sack spammy sweeper or whatever. I can't play it next turn, though. I can Final Parting Griselbrand. They got land, reanimate, no creatures in a graveyard, so that doesn't do much. And then they got Liliana. There goes my... No, this is a cast trigger. I don't know if they want to cast this because of Esper Sentinel, right? Oh, I thought it was. Does that not work? It's instant sorceries, never mind. Don't listen to me. They get rid of Kami. So I can get Griselbrand in play, and then surely this last card isn't like the dumbest thing in the game. It already triggered? Oh, I just must have missed it. Yeah, I must have missed... Oh, the enchantment. I was busy complaining. You're right. I was busy complaining. You are correct. Alright, I'm all in. Oh, we don't have Griselbrand. I took it out. Okay, so... I can't cast Virtue. I don't have another mana source. Will. Okay, so what do we not want to draw? Ghost Vacuum? Or land? Yep, that's fine. I misclicked it. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Well. Sag. It's non-creature. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to the stuff. Oh, no Griselbrand for us. We even drew Liliana too. I mean, Shieldred. So, barring further disaster, we can probably do something here. I don't know what it looks like, but it looks like there's a protection spell or a, yeah, some kind of protection spell, which means it's not a counter spell, which is ideal. It's on Arena? I don't know. I mean, I'll look at it after. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, please... Yeah, this is definitely some kind of combat trick, so hopefully they didn't top deck some busted damage dealing nonsense here. They didn't swing with Roaming Throne. That's really weird. I guess they just don't want me to loot. Like, they just really don't want me to get my commander back. But it doesn't have a death trigger. It's incredibly, incredibly slow. Alright, what does my opponent tutor up here? They didn't float a mana. They could have floated some mana here. I guess I can only hope it's some kind of aura. If it's a discard spell, I think the game is over. I don't believe they'll get a counter spell, though. Especially all this untapped mana. My opponent's absolutely going to look for something to do. Alright. Well, that must have been what they tutored for, because they chose to do what they just did. So let's play that. Let's go to combat. Again, there's a known about combat trick. I can play Jet Medallion first. It doesn't really fundamentally change anything. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to do this. Alright. I mean, it's not a counter spell, so I don't know what's going on here. I mean, mana drain wouldn't matter. We just die to the counter spell. It doesn't have to be mana drain. Just die to anything there. So I can reanimate this again. Suppose I will. Although I could just simply hard cast it. Maybe that's slightly better. Not sure. I'm not even sure if I'm still winning this. I don't actually know. But we came out of it. We came out of it not dead yet. That turn cycle. I think I'm going to take out this and run a relevant spell. I feel like ramping hasn't mattered. So decline. We do flip this. Yep. Probably always have to flip that, honestly. Oh, is this Casualties of War? No, they would have just cast it, though. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, they would have just cast it. Alright, so now it looks like it could be Subtlety. Oh, maybe it's Subtlety. Because of what's going on here. Subtlety counters Planeswalkers, right? I don't know off the top of my head. I think it does. I'm going to assume it does. Oh, maybe not. I'm not sure what held priority on their opponent's turn. A bit confused. A tad bit confused. No way. Really? Wow. I feel as though my opponent full stop has the capacity to ultimate this and win. But maybe not. Let's find out. I think Esper Sentinel will draw cards, which is the big thing. Let's do that. I do not have a white card. I don't have to hold priority. Yeah, you do answer it, you win, but it does a pretty good job at not dying, so I don't think it constitutes fragility there. They're reading Marsh Flats. They're reading Plains. Alright. Alright. Do we have the 4? Nope. Tragic. I will play my commander. K command is the only thing I can think of that's annoying, but on 2 it's not that annoying. Oh, yes it is. Yes it is. Grim Tutor is actually pretty good. It's not a land though. It's slow. It's very slow. Yeah, it's just very, very slow. Okay, let's swing. See if they have K command. This is the only thing it can kill anyways. I find it hard to believe my opponent kept a Mind Stone do-nothing hand, so... yeah, I can do it. This actually does look like Kozilek's Command. Kind of the only white instant in the entire game, so... yep, of course. Why wouldn't it be? We can exile... no, we can't get rid of Teysa, so... well, feel like I've almost lost. Let's go ahead and do this. Do I keep it in the graveyard? I do. Oh, I can Fatal Push now, too. Oh, wait, this is black. Yeah, I can. Alright, that was phenomenal. That was actually... that was really good. Wow. I can't believe how well that all just panned out. That was probably one of the best things possible. Alright, they have an annoying card, but it is beatable here. Oh no, they're playing the Galaxy Brain Ugin with the Winter Moon. Beyond tragic. Alright, well we don't need our... we don't need that. Let's get up Plains. Let's potentially win the game on the spot. Oh, this is great. This is peak gaming. That's what this is. I don't know of any cards that do it here. I can just play this. Might as well. Let's play the Verge, because it's untapped for the Winter Moon. But I don't really need more mana. Oh, they have, what's the Elemental Blast? Null Elemental Blast could do it against Teysa. So what are they at? 6 mana? Alright. They drew the best card in their deck. So, not great for us, but we have a very profoundly difficult to deal with clock that almost straight up killed them. No, flashing in that wouldn't have done it. Let's play Swamp. And I don't believe there's any reason to draw cards here off of the Arguel's Bloodfast, and I don't think Ugin can win the game, so. They probably start with Ugin. I don't know why they wouldn't. Yeah. I don't think it can target my creature. It doesn't even attempt to. Fair enough. Let's... Oh, no. Well, there we go. Maybe it is. Oh, wait. Oh, up, up. We want to take this action at this point. So, can they gain enough life to stay alive? I mean, they said good game, so who knows? Oh no, we have one of those good gamers who doesn't concede. Fascinating. A Chroma's Memorial? Why? Yeah, I guess you can do it all day. Shoot. Alright, well, that's interesting. Very interesting. I have absolutely no idea why my opponent's playing this, other than it's colorless for Ugin. I don't really know what's going on here. It's usually just a value engine. Explains the Panharmonicon, though. Or the extreme desire to put it into play, I should say. What the heck is this? But a counter each equipment. Alright, that's cool, I guess. Do I play anything turn 1? No? Don't think so. Oh, well, they played 2 forests. I guess killing the use in that instance would have been nice, but... Well, here we are. I feel like this is the 20th game I've just been trying to find a board wipe. That is a Bone Splitter. Remove all counters from this, deals damage to our creature, attacks, alright. It's pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. I don't believe the Sheoldred's Edict is doing anything remotely useful, so I'm just going to get rid of it, and I'm going to cast this. I don't think I have to block with my commander or anything. Stocking the Pantry. Okay, that's a slow card. It's a very slow card. That's a good sign. Baseball Bat. Okay, it taps my commander so I can't block with it, but I think my opponent kind of wants me to block, so interesting. Black or white? Probably blue. Wait, this is on... Let's not be stupid. Yeah, this has to be white. And let's get rid of the board. This feels better than casting Arguel Flare. I can do that next turn, though. Like, go land commander, I do stuff here. Basilisk Caller, alright. We have an Unearth. Okay. I don't imagine they're gonna block, but I will not let them. Okay. And then we can play Elspeth. Actually, this is just backbreaking too. So let's do that. And I'm not going to play the One Ring. I have no incentive to play the One Ring. I think they drew a land for the turn. This is a weird commit. It's like Nadu at home, it feels. Like it's just Nadu at home. Alright, well, all of this doesn't do anything as long as that enchantment's chilling there. So, we're slowly getting there. My opponent's commander, for the entirety of this game, will very likely not do anything, so... I'm going to have removal, 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 infinite blockers, One Ring protection. Like, this is just a complete nightmare for this commander, and it's currently stuck anyways, so... Are they dead? 1, 2, yes they are. Assuming they don't have Settle and Wreckage, which would be rather impressive. Alright, doesn't look like they have it. 7, 8, 9, 10... Oh, it's 11! No! Okay. Probably would have plussed instead then, just to draw cards off the Elspeth. Yeah, probably would have just plussed. Alright, they made a 1-1 chat. It's in play. It's there. It's looking at me. Alright, this is not enough. This also doesn't matter, so go for it. 5, again, doesn't matter. You can have viewer protection. I don't even know what the blue-black sword does. Like, cast stuff out of graveyard like Snapcaster? Okay, well they milled 2 lands. Yep. Alright, so... There's probably a way to have this commander work with a bajillion creatures in it, right? You would get access to one of the better cards... I'm losing my voice. One of the better cards in Chthonian Nightmare, if you did that. But you would still have to draw it. You know, you don't just have it every time just because it's in your deck. And what you're doing is not really that great, right? Like, you get a land out of this when it dies. I did not ever really feel in any way I needed a sack outlet to flip it the first time. So, if you have a bunch of that in your deck, thinking you have to flip this, that doesn't make sense to me. And I never needed one, so I think that's an accurate assessment. It doesn't make sense to run sack outlets just to flip this before you get the first land that then, you know, flips it indefinitely. So outside of all that, I don't really like the idea of a bunch of creatures with this strategy. It sort of creates its own creatures, creates its own card draw, and I like black-white controls, so, you know, I'm gonna lean in that direction anyways. The creature package comes with some pretty interesting things, though. Maybe a few creatures that you wouldn't normally see almost anywhere else, arguably. But I think this is probably more powerful, right? You're less vulnerable to creature-based answers, and there's a fair amount of that looming around, especially when the only creature that you're really providing your opponent to kill is this, and they don't want to kill it because it does the thing. So I really like that idea. if you are running a bunch of creatures, maybe you can run some incidental creature sack stuff like Woe Strider, I think it's called. There's a few of them ways to sacrifice that, because you also have other things to sacrifice with like village rites or whatever. So the reanimate spells weren't too exciting. I almost felt like I had too many. It's not a bad thing to cast this after it dies the first time. The second time it gets a little hard, but if it costs 5, it's not that big of a deal. So beyond that point, then the reanimate spells start to look ideal. Portal to Phyrexia is really expensive. I don't think any of the big, expensive, slower cards like even my favorite one, Overwhelming Splendor, would have pushed this over the edge or anything. I think more late game with this exact iteration would have been ideal. So maybe remove 3 or 4 reanimate spells and run more really scary late game cards. I don't know what those are. It could be Liliana Dreadhorde General or something like that, but it felt like when I had a ton of mana and all I was trying to do at that point was loop some 4/3s, just doesn't really get there. The drawing a bunch of cards is great. Davriel is actually pretty sensible in this deck, because you want to draw cards off of your Arguel's Bloodfast, and if you have the deal to gain life, you can actually do that. If you don't, well, you're going to run out of life, you know? You can, again, the counter to running more creatures, counter argument would probably be you actually can gain a bunch of life because you're playing like black-white life gain-based creatures and whatnot, or just anything to sacrifice that isn't 1 toughness is nice for doing that, but I don't know. I just, if you're in that direction, at that point, it's like, why not just play Ketramos? Unless you're in a bracket that doesn't let you or something like that. So, I don't think the format's super friendly to this commander, but it is cool. It gets to play some interesting things. I would say it took me, what, 54 minutes? It took like an hour to actually put this deck together, right? So if you're into that kind of thing, it's a really cool thought exercise of how to like make it work and not feel horrendously bad, you know? I don't know. It's not the greatest, probably in the bottom 50 percentile, in my opinion, but not like horrible. It's not like bottom 10% or 10th percentile or something like that. But don't know if I can recommend it, right? Especially with all the other black-white alternatives, especially if you're doing a creature light black-white alternative. There's a lot better commanders that could probably almost keep the same exact list. Some of this would come out and just put in, I don't know, all the other black-white commanders and be like, hey, my deck's better, yay, you know. But let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.